stream of round 17 action of Basketball Series Premier League powered by Spacequake Sports. With the season's regular season drawing closer to its final round, we have the Sturt Sabres hosting the Central District Lions. Tonight alongside me is an unmuted face, but a notable voice in on-top Australian basketball, filling in for the absent Benito Carboni. How are you tonight, and what do we have in store, Alan Brown?
Okay, Kieran, thank you for having me here tonight, and sorry to hear that Ben's not available tonight, but I'll do my best to fill in admirably. It's we're looking for a big offensive night tonight. I think it's a bit chilly here at Pasadena, but I hope things will start to heat up pretty early on, with both teams capable of putting it on the offensive board for sure. Absolutely.
We shouldn't actually be too far off from the opening tip, so basically sit down, relax, and enjoy some top talent on display. And what have we had this season so far, Alan?
Oh, it's been look, for Centrals, it's been a 3-win season, but those 3 wins, I mean, it could have been 4, could have been 5, could have been 6, could have been more. I mean, they've got some good players out there. We expect Sturt to really throw it at them after scoring over 100 points last week against Woodville. We're really expecting Sturt to light it up from outside. If Centrals can hold Sturt to a smaller scoring frame, if they can tighten up their defense and spread their scoring out, then hopefully we can see them do a lot better tonight. We have seen them do that in the past over this last 16 rounds of Premier League basketball, and hopefully they can bring that tonight.
Absolutely, that would not be a surprise if that happened here tonight, especially with Sturt in second place already. We're just under a minute remaining on the pre-game clock, and the officials and everyone is talking it over for the last minute of the contest. Last week though, the Sabres won 109-66, so they obviously want to keep going and keep their momentum rolling as the season draws to an end. Chelsea Brooke, 21 points, 7 of 11 field goals, so she had another massive game. One rebound shy of another double-double, which he actually averages, and 4 assists. Jordan Hunter, 18 points, 6 of 7 from the field, and what was actually spectacular about that, they were all from 3-point range. They were from deep. So absolute downtown.
Turning Pasadena into Splashadena, basically. Hopefully she can do that again here today.
Absolutely. You know, and despite shooting from downtown, she actually dished off 8 assists as well. So how good is that?
Another all-around game.
Another massive game. Danny Angley, 15 points, 5 of 9, and another 8-assist game. And last but not least, Kayla Matthews, 11 points, 5 boards, 7 dimes, that was just incredible, and she picked 3 pockets. So, and
from a Central's perspective, that's what you want to stop. The filling of the stat sheet. It's not just about the points on the board; it's the other stats that are going to be important. Those 1%ers, the bits like your steals, like your assists. If you can reduce that down, and then you make Sturt a little bit more one-dimensional. But here we go.
Absolutely, and we're off underway. Central's off and running. And they can't get it to go to the first basket, but they come up with the offensive rebound. This is exactly what they're going to need to do tonight. And they actually score on that first conversion.
Capitalising on some lazy defense in the first 13 seconds of the game, and there was no pickup after that shot. Players to players and go and defend.
Absolutely. Sturt looking to work their way in, worm their way inside, and they do. And it is still Sturt ball. That's exactly what they're going to need to do tonight. They're going to need to push, especially look how big their rim protector is for the Lions. So they have to worm their way through and find those open shots and use basically all of their basketball talent to get in there.
Well, Leah Swain's already knocked a couple of balls away early, and we're only 30 seconds into the game, so she can keep that up with a long-range bomb from Zoe Walker-Roberts, getting Sturt's account underway. Foot in the line was only 2 points.
Shrapnel bringing the ball up for the Lions again, looking around for it. Up, and can't get that one to go, no. The Sabres actually bring it up for the rebound. They're playing actually a good tempo of basketball right now. They're actually pushing it up fast as Chelsea launches a long 3. Can't get that one to go. Hits the rim. And it is Sturt ball still.
Not surprising, the first couple of shots have come from distance, going by what happened last week against Woodville.
Oh yeah, if it works, it works. Just keep it rolling. Waiting for the game underway with official Jared Crisp. And we're off.
This is important, rolling on that screen and making sure you're sticking with these guards for Sturt, because they will push that ball around and find the open look every time.
Ooh. Tough rebound there. Central's actually passing the ball around quite a bit as well. Nice to see.
Keep it spread, keep moving the defense around and find that open look. That's important.
I think if they keep moving the ball around and they keep moving around and not having a static play, it might be a key to actually winning.
That's going to be 4 quarters though. That's
exactly
going to
right.
be important. Yep.
Exactly right.
And that's what we want to see. I mean, we saw last week with Centrals, we got to half-time, then things started to fall apart from that point moving forward. So you want 4 quarters of that sort of tempo basketball.
Absolutely. If you can't play 4 quarters, you can't get the elusive W, especially with the Central District Lions this season. You said 3 wins earlier in the game, earlier in the year, Sarah.
Yep.
As that pass is picked off, and yes, totally picked off. Central's ball. Can't get that one to go. Long range 3. gets picked away, calling for a foul there from the bench. No call. Sturt, bringing it up, looking for the inside pass. Picked off, that's back-to-back picks.
And again, those long arms, the big reach of Leah Swain just picking up another pass.
The Lions pushing it, they're going to work their way in, and there's a foul there. That one there was called on. I believe that would have been Caleb Matthews.
It was Caleb Matthews indeed, yeah.
Cross around for 2. Lions going for 2. That scores a piece at 2. 7:51 remaining in the game.
And that's what we want to see. Foul shots is super important in any game. I think you live and die by the stripe, realistically. Hit your foul shots, you give yourself a great chance of staying in the game all the way through, especially when it comes down to clutch times at the end of games. You get a good start in the first quarter by knocking your foul shots, sets the tone for everybody else.
Aaron Shrapnel going for 2 for 2 there. Sturt actually are passing the ball around quite a bit as well. They're looking for that. They're floating around outside, so they might be looking for that outside 3. As, oh, no, they're penetrating. Foul, Sturt ball.
And Centrals will be aware of that too. I mean, they'll know if they'll have done their homework from last week, seeing how many shots in, regardless of how many they got in, how many shots they put up. And they'll be looking for a lot of long-range shots, so they will be very aware of shooters in every corner.
We are underway again. The Sabres actually looking around. Oh, a bit of a wayward pass there. And can't get on to go.
It's a turnover.
That's exactly what they're going to want, though. They're going to try and force these turnovers. The more turnovers they force, the more obviously other offensive possessions they're going to get.
Well, that turnover was come about by that extension of the defense right out. Even though they're 3-4 meters out from that 3-point line, the extension of the defense caused a higher pass, more of an uncontrolled pass and turnover Central's ball.
Boone penetrating, looking after the outside pass. They get it up, can't get that to go, and Sturt grabs a hard rebound there. Shrapnel picking up another foul. Defensive prowess of Chelsea Brook hasn't actually come into play yet, which is surprising. Which is actually good, excellent on the Lions' behalf, with Swain, patrolling the paint and keep her in line.
They'll know how important she is to that team.
Absolutely. Ooh, swamped.
But like all champion players, if she's quiet for a quarter, there's still 3 more to go.
Yeah, she'll turn it on when she needs to.
And that's the depth on this Sturt team.
Absolutely.
She doesn't need to go ahead and score 20, 25 points. There are many of the players on the Sturt lineup that can do just that.
I'm actually excited to watch the combination of Boone and Goff tonight, especially against the Sturt Sabres, who have already sealed their spot for finals. But with obviously the Lions have everything to play for still, despite their season coming to an end early. But you always got to play for pride at the end of the day, and for the uniform you got on your back. Every time, and they'll have that every time. And Sturt, Centrals haven't had a lot of success in their programs over the last few years. You would want them just to have every success and start to build towards climbing up that Premier League ladder. Ooh, nice one there by one of the imports. A nice outlet pass there to Chelsea Brook. She gets her first points of the game. Boone bringing the ball up. They're playing some really up-tempo basketball right now, the Lions, which is actually fantastic to look at the stay of the contest. We're at 6 apiece here with, just under 6 minutes remaining in the first term. Boone up, and that rattles in. Gets the roll, setting the tempo and putting it right to Sturt from the get-go. If they keep this up and they find themselves in the lead at quarter time, then they give themselves every opportunity to take this game right to the wire at the end of the game. I think every game break is just going to be pivotal and crucial. Every team talk, every game break, every foul, they're going to have to say, like, we can do this. Like, they're up by 2 points now, but we can do this. We can actually steal an upset. Bit of a wayward shot there, defensive board. And Sturt come up and settle. That's actually very nice there to watch them relax and say, all right, we're just a bit under pressure, but we can do this. And that ball movement has found the open look from Chelsea Brook. Not this time. Offensive rebound, crucial to block out those players and get those defensive boards, not allowing Sturt to have another challenge. That's 3 chances in a row for another offensive set. Angley drives. So that was too simple. The defensive lapse there. Absolute defensive lapse by the line. They'll obviously want to stop that one from happening again. Boone turns in, gets the foul. She's going on the line for 2. As we take another look at this. Very good job of initiating the contact there, but no call finished the bucket anyway through the contact. Well, what looked like contact.
Bit slow to the split line from Angley, really opening up that centre of the court to allow the drive to the basket.
Can't get that first one to go. Boone finished that first one. This is that second one, sorry. 1 and 2. Score is a 1-point game, which is actually excellent. It's not a blowout either way yet, if they actually will be tonight. The way the Lions are playing, they look like they're playing to win, and they want to play, and they want to really push it.
They only lost by 9 points the last time these two teams met, so they know that they match up okay against them. And if they just keep the tempo at both ends and not allow open basket shots like that, there's Lauren Gibbons knocking that one down, putting Sturt back in the lead with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Swain holding it up right outside. Ooh, turnover there. Sturt really pushed that transition of offense right there on display. And they can't get that one to go. Swain picks up a big rebound.
Dangerous cross-court pass. It's come off okay for the Lions. Moving into a fast tempo offense shot up from Boone.
They're going to have to convert those to stay into the contest.
So it's an open look. You can't.
Yeah.
They've got to go in. If they want to be in this game throughout the rest of this period, as well as moving forward, they need to make sure they hit those open shots.
Absolutely. Every possession is crucial. That was a very nice pass there. Angley puts up the big one. Can't get that one to go. Considering they were so accurate last week, they've kind of slumped off a little bit from deep.
Haven't shied away from jacking them up though, which is still good.
Exactly.
Because you can't get them in if you don't shoot them.
Exactly. Not in it. Not in it. Boone. Ooh, inside pass, and there's 3 in the key. Another turnover. Subs in.
One thing that Centrals make sure they have to pick up on is they are allowing Sturt more open looks from the 3-point line. In the last probably 3 or 4 minutes, it's been pretty open looks from 3-point range, and they'll start to hit them very soon.
Takes a few minutes to warm up to the contest, feel the tempo of the game, and find out where you're going to play, what position you're going to set yourself in.
Yep.
As we throw up another one. There we go.
There it is. First one on the board for the Sabres from 3-point land after hitting 21 last week against Woodville.
It's a 4-point Sabres lead with just under 2.5 minutes remaining in the first period. Boone finds the inside pass. Great pass there. And one. Great finish there by the Lions.
All set up by Boone, drawing 2 opponents to her. Allowed to cut. Great pass, great finish.
What else do you reckon the Lions are going to have to do to really stay? I mean, it's only a 2-point game at this point, but what else do you think they're going to have to need to do to stay in? It's
going to come down to consistency and defense. I mean, realistically, what they need to make sure that they're punching out is a lot of torque, and a lot of, especially if the Sabres are going to continue this pass to pass, this extra pass that they seem to be really going through. That'll be another pass to the wing. Okay, bit of a bobble there, but that's okay. That's exactly what they're needing to do. They're covering each other, and look at that, passing lane covered, and on the breakaway 3-on-2.
Can't get that one to go, and it is.
Maybe a Central's ball?
I believe. No, Sturt ball.
Okay. Oh, no, change his mind again. There we go. No, that's Central's ball.
Extra possessions will be crucial for the Lions tonight, and hopefully they make the most of them.
Right here. There it is. Bang
excellent.
From outside. Put Centrals back in the lead with 1:45 to play in this first quarter. Set up inside. Bit of a height difference. Not the most cleanest shot you'd want to see going up a foot away from the basket. And Centrals moving the ball back through again. Another open look. Back-to-back threes. Shantae Goff from long range, punching out to a 5-point lead for Centrals with just over a minute to play. She's heating up, and that's bad news for Sturt, as the answer comes from Meg Prosser. And Goff goes again. Is she still? No, there's a bit of a heat check from Shauntae Goff on that shot.
Oh, as she hits the floor hard.
Bit of a foot collision.
Really got to finish those easy baskets. They're very lucky they got the foul call there.
May have just caught a bit of a finger on the ball and just over the back, but yeah, you're definitely right. Strength, seal the ball up strong from underneath the basket, that's for sure.
Swain checks back into the game, as does Chelsea Brooke. We're under a minute remaining in the first term. 3-point game. Brooke, inside. Back out to Brooke. From deep, can't get that one to go. But they come up with exactly right. They have another offensive opportunity. Back to Brooke, back in, and done. Easy.
And finish under the basket.
That was beautiful.
Breakdown of communication by Centrals down the low post. Just losing their players, trying to cover up other players, bring the talk up, make sure everybody knows what each other's players are.
That's the second time that's happened tonight, a bit of a defensive lapse. I mean, still close, but obviously you want to limit those.
And Central's coming up against Sturt in the form that Sturt are in. They want to make sure that they keep the lead that they've got and build on it. These lapses will not end well for them.
Absolutely. Look for the big screen there by Brooke. Inside, penetrate.
Better cover.
Bit of ball there by Swain. And that is the end of the first period. Sturt unable to get that last bucket in, which is unfortunate. As we finished, it's only a 1-point contest at the end of the first term. Lions up by 1. What do we reckon is the key for the Lions tonight?
From looking at that first quarter?
Yeah, from this first quarter.
From looking at that first quarter, Shauntae Goff is going to be key. She's stroked a couple of 3-point shots already. She's looking very dangerous, looking very aggressive, bringing other players into the game, which is important. She's averaging about 24 points, I think. Sorry, she's I had it here somewhere. Oh, here we go, sorry. She's averaging 21 points per game, almost 22 points per game. It's about her now bringing in the rest of her team that's in and around her. Getting them scoring 10, 15 points around her and building on the lead that they've got now. It's only 1 point, obviously, but that's going to be the key moving forward. Jump into this second quarter, don't lose any of the momentum that you got in that first quarter and start to bring those other players into the game.
Well, they're definitely able to see, well, as you were saying, to include other players. They're definitely able to include other players, with Swain averaging 12, or just over 12 points a contest as well. But that's obviously just averaging on a good or bad night. But obviously all the players on the Lions side are able to go off in their own right.
You need 5 or 6 players getting to double figures, a couple of those players hitting the 20s, and that's going to give you a very competitive winning score. Absolutely,
and that's exactly what it looks like it's going to happen so far. Score is only 1-point game as we're almost starting the second term. And the Sabres aren't looking too bad either, considering they had an excellent night last Saturday night. Well, I think they totaled 35 assists as a side. So that's an unbelievable passing effort. And
they're looking for that extra pass.
Yeah,
you're watching their offensive, they're moving it around. Even with someone with an open look, they'll look for someone with a better look.
Yeah.
Although the shots haven't been going in, it's about the momentum of, I suppose, the movement of the ball. Sorry, I should say the movement of the ball and where they're looking, the unselfishness that this Sabres team have. They're looking for the better shot, not just the open shot, but the better shot, which is going to be important for them moving forward.
The better the shot is, obviously, is more opportunity of actually being sunk. But as a team, it lifts your team as well. And that's exactly what you need.
And they'll be trying different things as well, moving into the last round next week before finals. We all know finals is a different kettle of fish, so they'll be trying a few different things and trying to get people involved in the game.
Absolutely. And we're underway in the second quarter. Sabres can't get their first bucket to go, and it's a foul call. Central's ball. As we're waiting to restart the contest. Boone. She's actually a phenomenal ball handler, Jasmine, as well. Hopefully we get to see her again next year. The combination of Boone and Goff has been excellent to watch and read about every week. So hopefully it keeps going. Swain, mid-range, sinks that night. That was a very nice shot.
Boone, Goff, Swain, those three are a team that you can build a championship around.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you can build around those three.
You've got some youth coming through the Centrals team, some decently skilled players coming through. You can build around those three, then you give yourself every opportunity to move this team into playoff contention and contending for a title.
Exactly right. Well, there's Chelsea Brook answering with a two of her own as we're back down to a 1-point game. Goff holding it up at mid-court. Swain, almost picked off there by Brook. Look at the way like Swain just dictates play as well. It dictates where the players are, and just it's like the veteran in her. Yeah.
Very comfortable with ball in hand. She doesn't have to worry about where the ball is while she's holding it. She can direct traffic, get people to where they need to be.
Exactly right. Screens, everything. That's what you'd want as she draws the foul, and it's a two shots for the Sabres.
And again, I think that comes down to inexperience of some of the younger guards. Again, if there was more talking as that player got past, Swain could have covered across that split line and stopped that shot from going up and the resulting foul.
Absolutely. And here we have Sturt going for two. Sinks that first one. Very nice shot there. We have a nice crowd here tonight, braving the weather, that's for sure.
Look, it's about -5 here at the moment.
That's what it feels like.
There's icicles already forming wherever we are, wherever we go. My drink bottle here is a solid block of ice.
Absolutely. Central's ball. Sturt have another foul. Foul counts 2-1.
Second foul on Meg Prosser.
Goff. Screen there by Swain. Doesn't use it. Dishes out. There's Boone. Jacks up a big three. The arc. Can't get that one to go. Swain, big rebound there.
And strong through the hands as well. Gets the basket underneath, puts Central's back in the lead.
The give and take of this game is making excellent viewing so far.
It's been an absolute cracker of the game in the first quarter and a bit. Absolutely.
Brook launches a big one. Oh, rattles in and out. Can't get that to go. Big offensive rebound. Another extra possession. Definitely going to be crucial for both sides. They're both not short of offensive rebounds tonight.
I think already we can see what the halftime chat's going to be like in both change rooms. Sturt is going to be those second chances, make use of them. They've been shooting a lot from outside, not getting them in, but they will keep shooting. They have to keep shooting. They will start to drop eventually. If they'd hit half of the shots that they've put up, they would be miles ahead right now.
Oh, absolutely.
The momentum would be completely with them, and Centrals would be really on the back foot. From the Centrals' perspective, it's picking up those those defensive rebounds, not allowing Sturt those second chances. They can reduce that in the second half, then they'll keep themselves right in this ball game.
Well, Swain's definitely big enough to box out and strong enough, as I was about to say, Brook, box out Brook, but obviously doesn't need to be boxed out. She can hit the long ball as well. But anyway, Swain is definitely big enough to box her out inside. So the ability to keep her at bay will be another key to. Oh, very nice move there. At bay to keep the Centrals in the game and potentially in the winning circle. As the Sabres head to the line for two again.
This is where Centrals need to start to be pretty careful when it comes down to the foul count, because they're getting close to being into the bonus. One more foul, and then they're at 4. Then after that, it's all bonus, and we're only 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the second quarter.
And that's where the Sabres actually really going to come into play. They'll be like, all right, well, they're definitely in foul trouble, and we're going to go to the line every time there's a foul.
They'll start to penetrate.
Absolutely.
They know that their three-point shots aren't working at the moment, so then they can look up at that foul count and go, all right, we can start attacking the rim really hard.
Exactly right, especially with a big like Chelsea Brook. And then even just penetrating, trying to get that loose foul. But you know the careless fouls is what I should say. The careless hands.
Yep.
Hand checking. Boom. Inside. Goff. Holding up play outside. Goes, penetrates. Gets a hand on it by the Sabres. And they push the tempo. The transition basketball is fantastic. Oh, ball handling there. Unlucky. And the lines are back out again. Goff, Boone. Thought about that shot. Back to Goff. Inside to Swain. Nice pass. Turnaround jumper. Can't. Oh, it somehow managed to. I feel like that just defied physics. But all right, we'll go with that.
Science doesn't matter when it comes to basketball. It's all about just
athletics.
Yeah, athletics. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Nice pass there. This is what we'll talk about, the extra ball movement. Fantastic.
And now still with 8 seconds on the clock, they're able to reset and give themselves a chance for an open layup, which is missed.
The things they need to capitalise on, Angley there.
That was as open as you're going to get. I think she was surprised how open that layup was going to be.
Swing. I think just draws.
It was always going to be a foul there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brooke was very out of position, capitalizing on that, going straight to the basket. And it's going to be a baseline ball. Wasn't quite in the act of shooting. I think Swain would have liked a couple of free shots, but not to be, as she checks out of the game. As Centrals take timeout, with 6 minutes and 10 to play, they are trailing by 2 points.
That's going to be an excellent showing at Pasadena tonight. And, you know, everyone, ladies and gentlemen who are joining us at home, I hope, you know, settle in, because this has been a cracker game. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually went down right to the wire towards the end of the final term. I would not be surprised if it went to overtime even.
This back end of the second quarter is going to be crucial for this game moving forward. From a Central's perspective, we want them to make sure they stay in the game. Don't commit too many more fouls and keep extending that defense out and making sure that Sturt are not getting too many open looks from long range, because they will start to really knock them down.
Especially with 6 minutes remaining in this. So there's obviously in this half, so there's a lot of time left in the half, let alone the game. But again, it can go either way. And you know what? That's going to be a great showing.
So if you're the Sturt coach right now, what are you telling them? Well, if you're Marcus Wong, what's Marcus Wong's message right now to the Sabres?
Penetrate. Definitely penetrate. And look for that extra pass like I mentioned earlier, because the way Brooke was under the rim, dished it out, and the ball swung around the three-point line. So it didn't result in an open shot, but it caught the Lions off guard.
The Lions are starting to defend on their heels a bit, which is just have the Sabres licking their lips.
Goff jacks up a big one. Can't get that one to go. Nice rebound there by the Sabres, pushing it up. And they're really pushing up the floor too.
They spread very, very quickly and very easily.
Boone grabbing the rebound. Another outlet pass. Great pass there.
This is what we'd like to see. So Boone's taking it right at the play, right at the Sabres, open look, bang, there it is. Scores the tie, 26 points.
That's exactly right. Drawing that double team was fantastic. Leaving the open pass there for Stringer. Open basket for Stringer, sorry.
And this is the difference that we're seeing between the two teams. Sturt are looking for those extra passes and moving the ball around, as Chelsea Brooke scores again from underneath with a bit of a mismatch in size in the low post. But the difference is in that offense. Sturt are looking for those extra passes where the Lions are being aggressive and they're going at the players in the key and then kicking it out to find some open looks.
The mismatch will also be key as the Lions turn it over.
But it's still okay. The Central's coach will not be unhappy with that. It's a penetrating pass into the key, moving the ball forward, trying to find a bit of a kick out. Just didn't work this time, but it might work the next time.
I think they may want to get Swain back onto the floor as soon as possible, because the amount of mismatches that Brooke is going to have tonight, if she stays off the floor, she's obviously going to capitalize on that. She can go to town. Like I said, they'll be licking their lips. So I'd get her back on the floor as soon as possible and for as many minutes as she can tonight.
And so far, I don't think she's fouled. So I think it might be one against her, which is a good thing for her with 2.5 quarters to go in this game.
Another big rebound there by Goff. Holds it up. She's looking around. She's looking for that extra pass. Shrapnel's the screen.
Yeah.
Draws the foul. And she's going to the line for two. It was a hand check.
Hand check.
See those careless fouls.
And they're going to start to, and then now we're at 4 fouls for the Sabres, which will mean every foul from this point moving forward for Centrals, or against the Sabres, will give the Centrals a couple of free throws. And that's going to be important because they've shot well from the foul line so far.
Oh, Swain's checked back into the game. There's exactly right, the mismatch is gone. Bit of a wayward shot again. Hunter dishes out to Angley.
Yep, there's that extra pass.
There you go.
That's down.
Bang. Fantastic.
That's it. That's the way Sturt want to play this game, and that's how they're going to keep it up for the rest of this game. The Centrals need to be aware of that, because that's gonna hurt them.
I feel like the Lions are going to need to convert in this play, just to, not to stay into the contest, but like as they put Jack up. Did someone
There's
call?
The answer.
Did somebody call bank? I think someone just called. No.
And it's after hours. The banks are closed, but not tonight here at Pasadena.
It's Saturday night. Yeah. bank's open 24 hours here.
It's like internet banking.
Internet banking.
Internet streaming, internet banking. Yeah, I get it.
What year is it? That's right, 2018.
And there
Answer
it is.
right back.
Foot on the line, 2 points only, but still another long-range shot. And what we've seen from Centrals again, penetrating the key, being aggressive. That's nothing to be upset about if you're a Central supporter. Keeping the tempo up and keeping it aggressive. Because even if they're not scoring, it makes for some pretty entertaining basketball. Pass inside, score inside. Great pass and finish from Nisa Sexton.
That was a bit of a risky cross-court pass that it paid off. Couldn't get that basket to go though.
Extra pass.
Exactly right. Finds the open player. Brooke, long. Can't get that one to go either. Now we've got a foul call.
There's another, that's the third chance. I was going to say another second chance at an offense there, but that's the second offensive rebound in a row, giving them a third offensive set in a row, which Central's, I think, in that second half, and the message at halftime will be to box out, stop allowing these offensive rebounds.
Stringer taking one to the face there. It looks like she's a bit sore with the nose. Don't think there's any blood, but she's covering up her face a little bit. Must have got a pretty good hit. She's still nursing it.
Elbow on the rebound, pulling it down, but at the end of the day, she was out of position, which...
As she's walking off the floor.
Okay. She's just probably taking a minute. We all know when we get hit in the nose, it's a bit of a sore spot, quite a sensitive area.
Especially in the cold too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Sturt are up by 2 points with 2 minutes 27 remaining in the half. There are 4 fouls apiece each. So next foul, they're going to the bonus. It's going to be excellent. It's going to be an excellent showing. They're going back and forth constantly, trading baskets back to back as well. So as Stringer walks into the locker room, she's definitely checking out her nose.
So we'll probably see her for the rest of this first half. Hopefully she's okay and gets it all plugged back up again and pops back out into court in the second half.
The officials have waved them onto the floor.
So Sturt with their third opportunity in a row at an offense. You would expect a score here, and if it does, that's going to be the message at halftime, I think, from a Central's perspective.
Great pass out there. Brooks looking for it off the screen. She's going to roll.
Good collapse on defense for the extra passes there.
Can't get that one to go. How tall is Brooke compared to Goff right there? And Goff just strongly out-rebounded her.
Body position, timing on a rebound. Some people, when you've got it, when you're a little player, you have that extra bit of timing, you can just snatch a rebound from the big.
Goff.
A bit of a walk to the three-point line.
Yeah, a little bit. Swain off the glass. Can't get that one to go. Brooke grabs the big rebound. Brooke again. Dishing around. The ball move as they throw it up. I was about to say, and swishes that one, or not swishes that one, rattles that one home. My apologies. Shrapple bringing the ball up again.
They need an answer, and they need it right here.
5-point game, minute and a half remaining.
So turnover here from Centrals leads to another score for Sturt, then it's going to start to really kind of get a bit uncomfortable leading into halftime.
The trailing line there.
And the trailer, bang.
7-point game, a minute 10 remaining in the half.
Fantastic awareness there too, to know that there was going to be a trailer behind after that long lob pass from halfway.
The team, yeah, exactly right. The team, knowing where your team is basically a key to success, not only like on the night, but as a championship side too.
Knowing where they are, it's a sixth sense, really.
Yeah, it's like hearing footsteps. As the Lions are unsuccessful again. Waves up, arms up in the air. Great find there.
Gonna step out of court.
Turnover, Lions ball. Checking in, subs it back in.
Triple change for the Lions. They trail by 7 points, 45 seconds left in this first half. We've seen a pretty close game through the first 2 quarters of this game. hoping that we can see a big score from Centrals here to really tighten things up before the whistle blows to end the first half.
They definitely need to convert on this play and try and force a turnover in the next, try and get a defensive stop in the next possession. Just to put that little bit more of an edge and tightness on the Sabres. And obviously a win on the road is massive. It's always beneficial as Swain picks up that loose ball and she gets fouled. She's going line for 2. Exactly what they needed.
Put these 2 away, turnover, you'll have yourself about 5 or 6 seconds to get up another shot, and that's plenty of time. We see how fast Centrals move the ball down court. They could easily get a layup within 6 seconds on the clock.
Sinks her first one.
That's a diagonal setup from Leah Swain.
A little bit unconventional, in my opinion, but
when you hit 2 from 2, it doesn't really matter how
exactly
you
right.
be standing backwards, standing on your head, whatever you like.
Underarm throw, it's all good. Yep. Yeah, they're really pressing right now, the Lions, which is fantastic. They know they don't have much time left.
Sturt, you'd almost expect Sturt to hold it up, but then use all of the clock. They take the shot and they roll it in for 2.
More than enough time to get another basket there for the Lions. Just under 20 seconds to go.
Yep, final possession of the first half.
Goff uses the screen. Oh, she penetrates. Looking for a foul there. Swain, big rebound. May have been checked there. There's another foul, and she's gone back to the line for 2. She really fought for that second rebound. She was definitely getting picked apart underneath the rim.
She was in great position, though, to that follow-up rebound on 2 occasions, and that's what Centrals have been allowing down Sturt's end, so it was good to get a couple of offensive rebounds back and a couple of more looks at the basket. As
we see the Sabres shot again, rattling home. The diagonal setup, as AB mentioned. Gets her first. It's a 6-point game with, what, just over 5 seconds to go. Rattles that second one home. The Sabres have got more than enough time to put up a bit of a prayer, but long line, can't get that one to go. Swain holds up, and that's the end of the first half. So at Pasadena, it is the Sturt Sabres taking on the Central District Lions, and at halftime the scores are 40-35, so it's a 5-point margin. There's much more to come, and we'll see you for the second half shortly. And welcome back for the second half of round 17 action of the Basketball SA's Premier League, powered by Space Break Sports. And I'm sitting here alongside Alan Brown. How are you, Alan?
Very well. That first half got me nice and warmed up. Not physically, because it's still freezing, but internally definitely warming up. It's been a crap of the first half, 5 points in it, anyone's game still.
What do you reckon the key to the second half is?
It's going to be the contest between Swain and Brooke. That's going to come down to who's going to take home the chocolates tonight. Whoever finishes that contest in front will have their team in front as well.
Well, you're not wrong, because Brooke's got 9 points and 6 boards, while Swain's in front of her by 1 point, sorry, not 10 points. 1 point with 10 points and 6 boards. But in the end, it's not a one-on-one contest, is it? It's a team game.
I think those two will gather their team in, direct them. We've seen it already happen on the court. That they're there, they're making those passes, they're pushing their teammates around as to where they need to be and where they need to go. They will be a very considerable focal point for both teams offensively and defensively, but you're absolutely right. They will bring in their other players. They've got some elite scorers, the Centrals in Goff and in Boone, and we will see them apply their craft in that second half. And Sturt have got a plethora of big-time scorers on their team as well.
You're absolutely not wrong. We've got Gladstone with 8 points, 2 boards and 3 assists already. Sturt with 7 points, 3 boards and 1 dime. Walker Roberts, 6 points and 3 rebounds. And with the Lions, we've got Goff with 8 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, and we're back underway. They're going to really want to push the pressure, put the pressure on straight away, the Lions, and that's exactly what they've done. Big rebound there. Can't get that one to go. They really got to finish off those 2. I mean, it's only a 5-point contest, but they're really going to finish off those 2 baskets.
But they haven't taken the foot off the aggression pedal, absolutely, which is great to see.
And yeah, absolutely. As you were saying, their foot was on the gas with Goff. She's just a fantastic passer and scorer, that one. Just
the way that she's able to move the ball up the court. It's catching Sturt on their heels. They haven't set in their defensive positions yet. Allows shots up, and a strong push to the basket from Swain. Puts it in, brings this gap back to 3 points.
9 minutes to go. Just started, but it's only a 3-point game. 1 possession. Could go either way. And then the tail of the tape for the first half was like not only what you mentioned about Brooke and Leah Swain, but they were trading baskets back and forth constantly. The accuracy was not that. It wasn't. It started off a little bit slow, a little bit cold, but it worked its way up as Boone puts up a mid-range jumper. Can't get that one to fall. Angley brings up the rebound, brings up the floor. She's gonna maybe look for the dish. Yep. See, that's the kind of passing you need to find.
And this is where we see the differences. I didn't particularly like the shot selection from Boone there. I mean, you're just coming into an offense. You've got an 18-foot shot there, right? If that's fantastic, but there wasn't really an avenue to the basket. Bring it back out, set yourself up for a play. Then we go down, we see the absolute opposite to that in the Sturt offense, pushing the ball around, getting a better look. Didn't go in, but got a better look nonetheless.
Exactly right. The resetting of a play is always going to be pivotal to success. And every possession, honestly. Very good pass out there. And it's gone. 3 points. 6-point contest now.
From well behind the 3-point arc, another open look from long range. These are going to start to hurt Centrals big time.
Especially if they can't answer each play. Well, they were in the first half, but it might be a different story in the second. Goff jacks up a big 3. Can't get that go. Hits the back iron. And see, the Sabres know, it's like they can smell blood, and they're pushing up the floor quick.
If you're going to foul, that's how you foul. That's
stop the contest.
She stopped her in her tracks, so hopefully she's okay. She's up, a bit ginger, but look, both players super tough, going hard. That's what you want to see.
They both want to win.
That's Premier League basketball.
Absolutely. Angley walking that one off. She seems to be a little bit ginger. But
she's a competitor, though. She'll be absolutely fine.
Oh, absolutely.
It's another day in the life.
Ooh, hits the side iron there. Goff, another rebound. She's picked up a few boards tonight. Has picked away, but it's going to be Central's ball.
Lucky to get away with that one.
Yeah.
Little slap from behind, which has slowed it right up and made Centrals bring this back to an actual setup rather than what seems to be their preference of aggressive moves to the basket.
9 times out of 10, they're going to call that a foul as well. So she's got away with a nice one there.
Great defense, great defense. Stepped right across in front of her, kept her right in front, not allowing Goff to get past, and the transition basket down the other end from the Sabres.
And just like that, we're almost at 10 points. We're at 8 points.
With a silky ball handler like Shawntae Goff, you've got to stay in front of her. She did exactly the right thing. And there's the difference. The Sturt player in Walker Roberts got side on, allowed Goff that first quick step, straight to the basket and scored. So that's what you'll need to make sure you're doing with Goff, is staying right in front of her, not allowing that any sort of gap, because she will beat you off the mark so quickly.
That lateral step, that lateral quickness.
So fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And they sink another one. That's what, 3 triples in a row.
Starting to
heat.
Starting to get hot from outside.
As we can hear Marcus Wong telling his team, just keep going, basically. Swain. That's a bit of another wayward shot there. I think wayward will be the word of the night. Transition offense ends perfectly with Brook grabbing the 2.
All of a sudden, we see a Sturt lead of 12 points. 11 points.
11 points.
Yeah, I don't do math on a Saturday night. On a Monday night, I might.
Yeah.
But that's not now. That's over 2 days time. But 11-point lead, all of a sudden, got a double-figure lead for the Sabres, and time out to the Central District Lions.
What do you think they're talking about in the huddle now, though? They're saying they're really going to stop that offensive. The Sturt's transition offense.
I think a lot of what we were seeing in that first half is now coming to fruition. What we've seen in the first half was a lot of outside shooting, and those shots were not dropping in that first half. Now they are.
Yeah.
We knew that wasn't going to be far away, and we are looking at it right now. If they keep this process going, they're going to be out by 20 within a blink.
Well, they pushed it out to 11 in, less than 5 minutes. It's only been, 4 minutes, 15.
And then in the first minute or so of this third quarter, there wasn't really a lot of scoring. So realistically, in the last 3 minutes, they've just punched it out. And that's still with Central's scoring a couple of baskets within this third quarter as well.
As the game gets back underway, players walking back onto the floor. It's going to be, well, as you mentioned, the tail of the tape will be Swain and Brook, but it looks like it's kind of shifted a little bit already.
It's shifted back out to where we thought this was going to be from what we saw last week with the Sturt Woodville matchup. It's being pushed out from long range. I think this game is now where Sturt wanted it to be from the outset.
It's good to see that the Lions are still pushing, like they've still got their foot on the gas and they're still pushing the ball up fast. As the Sabres push a nice inside pass there. Swain almost getting a hand to that.
You almost look like you just helped it a little bit there, but no. Great baseline jump shot. You have it every day of the week. That's going to happen every time from Chelsea Brook.
Chelsea in her first year away from her home Norwood club. And she's actually made a statement for the Sabres saying like rejuvenating some life into the club, and they're looking promising. I know that the Rockets are still undefeated at 16 straight wins, but on a good night and maybe an off night for the Rockets, Brooke and her Sabre unit can definitely push as the Lions grab one back quickly. The Sabres can definitely push the Rockets, even if all it takes is a few extra possessions, a few extra baskets.
We saw that in last year's Premier League Grand Final. I mean, North went in, had to have been heavy favourites going into that game, and what happened? And we know it. We know Southern came across and went, you know what, we'll take this. And
thank you very much.
Just they didn't allow it to happen. As Sturt answer very, very quickly. It just happened for them in the finals. We know finals is a different beast, and anything can happen on any given day. Exactly
right, and yeah, exactly. Finals are different. Everyone steps up to another level in finals. So that being said, you're going to give, as there's a heavy foul there by I think it's the Lions, yes, but I think it was by Boone. And the Lions, and the Sabres are going to the line for 2. As I was saying, but you got to give it the Rockets respect as well. They're playing undefeated so far. They're playing fantastic basketball.
Having a great season.
Yeah, and they're stepping them up to another level.
Last year's loss in that final hurt them a lot.
Yes.
Speaking to a few of the Rockets players, speaking to Joe Hill after the game, you could see it in their faces that this was something that they almost had. They were so very close to taking that trophy home.
Absolutely.
And they knew that from the outset. And after the game, you could see how much that had affected the players. Not just the loss, but just the whole scenario of how it's come to be. And this is not a surprise to see them undefeated this season.
It's like they're looking out for redemption, and they want to make amends of what happened last season.
They want to grab what should
be theirs. Yeah, they wanted to go back to back, basically. But they couldn't, and they're looking for redemption. So it would be excellent to see if they meet the Tigers in the finals as a grand final rematch. But time will tell.
This could be close to a backcourt violation, not careful. Now that opens it up.
It was great work at the pivot foot, though.
And a reset from the Sabres. And the extra pass to the corner, into the low post, and the great finish from Soraya Moon.
Ooh. Ball handling turnover there. That's a bit unfortunate.
That lead is starting to creep out into some pretty dangerous territory.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're a Central District fan.
Straight up to 13 points with 3 minutes, just under 3.5 minutes remaining.
And now we're seeing a lot of defensive chasing going on. It's not about matchups anymore, it's chasing the offensive players around, which is going to start to really hurt the Lions.
Leah Swain giving some advice to Casey Banwell there in that little game break. Listening to your vet will take you a long way. I feel like the extensive basketball knowledge by Swain, it will be just pivotal to this side. Especially the youngsters in the Lions outfit. Boone pushing the ball up very quick. She's going to take this one up. No, she's looking for the extra pass. Yep, there it is.
3-on-1, so it's a good idea. Pushing it out and banking. Bang! Another bank is still open. I guess it's still internet banking, 24/7, wherever you need to be.
We're at 7:25 p.m. Bank open.
Transfer made. I don't know how to do that. My wife does that. I don't know.
Nah.
Not for me.
Nah. Just everything cash. Just pay everything cash. Just cash everywhere. Yeah. Just easier. And the officials have caught a travel on that one. First travel of the night, I believe. It's definitely one that doesn't get called a lot.
When you reach this sort of level, I mean, firstly the umpires aren't looking for it.
Exactly.
It's not going to be there very much, realistically. We have that phantom third step that's always there, that we know that's there, that can be taken. It's not important, not crucial to the game. If you're doing a Russell Westbrook and taking about 28 steps with the ball, then fair. We'll have seen that called. But great move of the basket from Boone.
Yeah. Very nice finish. Very maneuverable finish.
Back into single digits now. So starting to just bring this lead back to something more manageable.
That's what they need to do. They need to find a nice basket, which they did. Say, this is our game, guys. We finish a basket like that. We can finish this game off strong. Great defense, and that's another travel.
And again, great defensive work, causing that travel. She got in all sorts of trouble down the low block and had nowhere to go. It was either going to be out of bounds or it was going to be a travel. No surprise that this lead has started to erode with Chelsea Brook off the court.
I think Coach Wong will actually want to get it, and
bang!
Boone hits another 3. It's a 5-point game, ladies and gentlemen. As I was about to say, Brooks about to, at the end of the bench, I think she'll be checking back in very soon.
I think Marcus Wong has seen this as a bit of an issue.
Yep.
So the inside presence is not quite there, and a late call, but still a foul.
On Hannah Dixon, I believe. And that is her first personal of the night.
Important sub coming in with Chelsea Brook coming back into the game. Minute 24 left in this third quarter. We know this is going to be a very important minute and a half. We will see where this lead will be at for the Sabres if they still have a lead, as the first foul shot is missed from Kayla Matthews.
She's really going to want to convert this second one. And she does. And we're at 6 points with 1 minute 20 remaining in the third. I can't believe the game is 3 quarters nearly over. It's been spectacular tonight so far.
And this run has been without Shauntae Goff.
Yes.
It's showing that this Central's team
are able.
Lots of talent still. For a team that's only won 3 games, they've got a stack of talent.
Ooh,
and bang! Again, from outside. bringing it back to a 4-point lead. Under a minute to play.
Hannah Dixon, please take a bow. Great finish there. The Sabres are going to want to find some answers and very, very quick.
And now they can push to get this within a basket. And they will. They'll stay aggressive. Ooh, good, smart,
yes.
Very smart. Oh no!
Back-to-back threes.
Huge.
Stringer.
Stringing the second three along there. Let's try and get a bit of a connection there with the stringer. They're stringing him back into this game by 1 single point, the margin that it was at quarter time.
10 seconds on the shot clock.
And again,
there's a turnover.
Great defense. Chance to take the lead before the start of the fourth quarter.
Boone restarting, 5 seconds on the shot clock.
It's going to be a Boone shot from the 3.
Ooh.
Locked away, and that'll do it.
Can't get that one to go. Anyway, we're at 3-quarter time. It's a 1-point game. The Lions have actually really pushed it, obviously by the scoreline, but they've really pushed back into the contest and kind of frightened a little bit of the Sabres, saying, just because our season's done, or nearly done, we're going to come and we're going to really push you. We're going to stop your momentum.
That could make for a very dangerous team.
Oh, absolutely. I would definitely be investigating Boone and Goff to come back next season and train with Swain. As long as it make your off-season, build the bond with the girls and say, no, we did some damage throughout the season. Okay, a lot of results didn't go our way.
And they pushed a lot of teams. That's what you go through the stats, have a look. They pushed a lot of teams. They may not have pushed them for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
But they were very competitive. And that's what you want to see from a lineup. And at the end of the day, if you're not winning games, okay, you take that. It happens. It's sport. Someone's got to win, someone's got to lose.
Exactly.
You don't have draws in this game.
Exactly.
So you take the other parts, the other components out of this game and go, right, we were super competitive for 2/3 of this game. Not what we're after, but look, we want the whole game, but we were in it for a good portion of it. But we did this well, we did this well, we did this well, we did this well. We've got to work on all these other things.
Exactly right.
And but that's fantastic to see from a young Centrals team, an inexperienced Centrals team with 2 cracker imports and a big-time leader in Leah Swain, really throwing it at this Sabres team.
Exactly right. You got to emphasise the oodles of youth then that they've got. So like you were saying, the skill that they have in Boone and Goff and the leadership from Swain, the youngsters are definitely going to learn heaps. Not only they're only going to get better as the seasons go on, because obviously you hit your prime as you get older and you learn so much more. And as the game continuously changes, different, not rules, but different situations in game, in trainings, different training drills, etc., you learn a lot, and you learn a lot, especially from your vets.
And these girls coming up against some quality players in and week in, week out.
Yeah.
Against your Southerns, your Norwards, your Norths, your Sturts, your top line Premier League teams. You're not going to. Michael Jordan said, the only way to get better is to play against people who are better than you. And these girls are coming in week out, coming against better opponents, but pushing them, which is great to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're really throwing it at them, which is awesome.
Especially sides like the Tigers, who have again oodles of talent in McKendrick. This year they've got Ratliff and Olvera, and Dodman as well. So they've all of that, a lot of that, well, not even a lot, the entire, as there's a foul called on the Lions, that entire Tiger side is fantastic. And there's obviously the opportunity to play against them 2 times a year, plus if they do some preseason contests, and if anybody gets along with each other outside of the game, bit of one-on-ones, bit of trainings here and there. End of the day, it's a team game, and you want your league to grow. I would love to see the league be on par with the Seaball in the Eastern States.
I mean, it's got every opportunity to be exactly that. We are now starting to see so many very high-quality imports coming in from American college. It's fantastic to see, especially returning Aussie college ballers as well.
Yeah.
Seeing them come back into the Premier League and showing their wares as well.
Exactly right. I know there's a few college players who have gone off and they've come back, and basically across both the men's and the women's. And you can tell how much the college ball changes their game and how much they learn. And especially learning alongside players as Goff's ball rattles off the front iron, as you're learning from players who have played interstate and overseas, especially from players like Boone and Goff, who are some top talent. The way they play the game is obviously different overseas. And it's just fantastic. It's just fantastic what you can learn by just watching from the sidelines and watching tapes over and over again. You'll pick it up very easily. As Brooke grabs a Oh, she's gets the block.
Pick up a foul.
Yep, but she's picked up a foul too.
Sort of push this one back out to a 5-point lead though. Minute and a half gone in this final quarter. The crowd's starting to roll in now for the men's game, which will be starting shortly. Are seeing an absolute cracker of a game leading into the last 8.5 minutes of this final quarter.
Absolutely.
As Nisa Sexton rolls in the first foul shot.
4-point game. 3-point game. It's gonna. Hopefully, it comes down to like maybe a 1 or 2 possession contest, because the Lions want it. You can see that they want it.
They've been aggressive.
Absolutely.
From the first second of this game. It's resulted in things like that, easy basket. But as a coach, you like to see the aggression. You don't like to see the points being scored against you, but you like to see the aggressive defense, and that they're sticking to the plan. They've been aggressive from the outset. That's clear. That's been their game plan. And they've stuck to it, and they haven't stopped, which is fantastic to see.
This is a fantastic play just there by the Sabres. I think the ball barely touched the floor, and as they pick up a steal, sorry, nice dish out there for the easy 2, and all of a sudden the lead is pushed back out to 7. The Lions really want it. They're pushing the ball up incredibly quickly. They're trying to catch the Sabres off guard by the looks of it. Bit of miscommunication there. And it is staying Lions ball. Came off the captain.
As you see 2 big names coming back onto the court for the Lions. They've seen the lead for the Sabres move out to 7 points. As Swain and Boone back onto the floor.
See, that's what's fantastic. So they're two of their leaders back onto the floor. So that means the lead was chopped back down. I'm not going to say their second unit, but... Oh, no basket. They've called a travel.
Just when I said they don't call travel very much. We've seen 3 travels in the last 5
Exactly
minutes.
Right. Yeah,
that's
basically.
My fault. I'll take that.
As I was saying, I have totally forgotten what I was saying.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. The 3 travels is blowing my mind. Nope, it's totally gone, ladies and gentlemen. I apologise for that one, if you were following that interesting conversation.
Now we see the ball movement that we saw in the first half.
Swain.
Not the penetration of the basket that you want to see, but again, you see some time off the clock, and you see some more additional passing coming around in their set for their offensive moves. Boone sees a gap. Not a bad effort throwing it at the basket. Transition for Sturt. That's going to be cash.
You called that one. I rated that one.
It's just you can see them, you can see how they're coming down the court. Like it's just one of those.
It's one of those plays.
You just know that that play. It's not just a transition movement. It's a transition play. They would be doing that in scrimmages. They'll be doing that in training week in, week out. Especially a team that shoots so frequently from outside.
You also can't leave the basketball guards out of that one there. Yeah, it's just one of those plays where it's like when someone gets crossed up and they fall to the floor, you know that ball is going to go in for 2 or 3. That's how it works.
Yeah. The beauty of this game.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And we've actually seen the growth of basketball in Australia as a whole, and it's been especially with in the local leagues with Sixers reaching the grand finals and ending in heartbreak last season, but overseas as well. It's just been fantastic, and then down in the local leagues as well, like Premier League, Seaball and all that kind of stuff. As the Sabres finished for 2, very nice play there. The growth, interest in basketball, the sport of basketball in Australia is hitting quite the high, in my opinion. It's
climbing once again as it should have. I mean, we've had a lull, but it's now starting to build. It's amazing news coming out of the NBL with a 9th license being granted.
Yeah.
Possibility of a second Melbourne team or a Tasmanian team. I think it's probably down to those 2 at this stage.
Wouldn't have a clue.
But we'll see what happens out of that one. I think there's a lot of noise being made from across the strait there in Tasmania. That's for sure.
And that makes another open route for professional basketball by these leagues like the Premier League, Seaball, QBL. As you know, the players chop and change between this league, and some of them move to the Seaball, some move to QBL, some move I think to the Victorian League. So that's obviously another franchise that they can work their way inside.
Look at the basketball roster. I mean, realistically, you have. Okay, you have 10 regular spots, you have 12 spots with development players, so that's 12 spots over 8 teams.
Yeah.
And that's 100 players. I did the math on that one, I'm so good. A second there.
It's not Monday, so we can let the math go.
Get the calculator out. Oh, look at that. So 96 players. I was pretty close. I said 100.
You're pretty close.
So you've got 100 spots nationwide to get yourself onto a professional list. You add another 12 onto that. That's that's only pushing above the 100 mark, but it's another 12 professional league spots that can be on show to show the talent that this country can provide. It's a really exciting time for basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. And exactly, this is why I want to hang around one of these leagues for as long, even if I move or if I stay, as Swain finishes through the big contact. Just keep your eye on the league, because you don't know who you'll see floating around this league, interstate, overseas, and anywhere else, really.
Brings the lead for the Sabres back under 9 points with that end. We're looking for the one now to bring it back to 8 points. Just over 5 minutes to play in this game.
Swain gets the lucky bounce there off the glass and the rim. Back down to 8 points. 5 minutes remaining. More than enough time to come back into this contest. It's not like they're already left, to be honest.
I think this is. I can hear it. It's golf time. I'm thinking. I'm hearing some. The basketball gods are calling for Shawntae Goff.
As Brooks sinks a nice triple.
They might have said Brooks, not Goff.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Got headphones on, so I can't really. It's a bit muffled sound, outside noise. But this game is screaming for Shawntae Goff to fire up and open this one right back up again and bring that score back to a few points and give them an opportunity.
As Boone gets one off the glass, can't get that one to go. Bounces off the top of the rim, sorry. There's a foul. Heavy foul there by the looks of it. Both sides flirting around the bonus. Sabres on 4 fouls while the Lions on 3. Obviously more than enough time to stage a comeback victory.
Look what they did in 6 minutes.
Exactly right.
In the third quarter.
And that's the kind of game basketball is too, with a few good stops, a few good transition plays. Ooh, unlucky there. But yeah, a few big stops, a few transition plays, extra possessions, and next thing you know, you're back into the contest.
And this is what we spoke about again, that first half coming back to haunt Central District Lions. These second opportunities. Not capitalising this time, but they still get a third opportunity. Out of bounds, Sturt ball from the baseline. Although, they've got a second to figure out some kind of shot. They get it off.
Can't get it to go. Trapple. Passes it back out to Goff. Swain puts it up. Too easy. Simple basketball there. Couple passes, a nice shot.
Another stop here gives Central every opportunity to get this back within a couple of shots. They need to tighten up. As a defensive unit, they need to control their offensive players.
Yes, absolutely.
And I was just about to say, and that's by staying in front of them and making sure you know where they're going to, you are making them go where you want them to go. The timeout Centrals. Sturt lead this one by 9 points. We'll come back after this timeout with 2 foul shots to the Sabres to push this back out to a double-digit lead with 3 minutes, 26 seconds left to play in this fourth and final quarter.
It's been a totally close contest tonight so far, and it's been great. It's been fantastic. It's not even been great, it's been fantastic.
Every time Sturt have tried to push this game out, Centrals have reeled them back in.
Yeah.
It's great to see from a Centrals perspective that they continue to fight. They've put it right to them from the outset and kept their aggressive play all the way through, which is awesome. Well, we've got 3 minutes to still turn this around.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We'll bring it close again.
Well, like you were saying, the first time they met earlier this season, it was, 63-72. The Sabres won that contest with Goff with 24 points, Swain with 14, Boone with 12. But the bit of the problem there was Boone shot 5 of 18, so she struggled a little bit. So that could have been another turn of the tape there. And I feel like she's had a lesser impact tonight because we've seen Goff floating around the court constantly. Boone's been there, but been a little more quiet, so they managed to keep her contained. The Sabres side have.
Definitely haven't seen the same finish and polish that we would normally see week in, week out from both Goff and Boone. But they still contributed, and they've brought in their other players around them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As the Sabres at the line. Sinks that first one.
Important foul shots for Walker Roberts. Just to make it a more comfortable lead going into the final 3 minutes of this game.
2 from 2. The Lions are going to want every possession to count from here out. They want to obviously score as many as they can, because that's the point of the game, but force the defensive stops on the Sabres. They've done it tonight. They've reeled, like you mentioned, they've reeled the points back in as Goff jacks up a massive 3. Big rebound there by Boone.
Second chance points. They need to stop here and a quick offense. They need to start. It's interesting to see that setup of their offense was slow, was controlled, which hasn't been their play throughout this game. It's been aggressive and it's been pushing the lanes, and this time around they decided not to.
Exactly what they wanted just now. Oh, this is a big hit there. And they've caught an offensive foul on Boone. She's not pleased with that one there. I don't blame her. That looked a little bit, not a little bit. How you going?
I just see the replay. Yeah, so no, I don't know whether that's quite the offensive foul that we would have expected that to be called. Matthews sort of came in from the side, wasn't particularly there, but call's been made.
Yeah,
it's up to the Centrals now to get this ball back and get it down the other end. But Chelsea Brook, quick pass underneath and 2 points, pushing this out back out to an 11-point lead.
Easy 2 points there as well for Brook. As the official was giving a little bit of a speech to the Lions bench after that offensive foul. Not a warning, but enough to maybe just put you in the place a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know, there's certainly no requirement of an explanation. He's seen it in the way that he did, which is look, that's the call was made. Whether it was the right or wrong call,
it's done.
It's in the book now. It's too bad. So he doesn't need to provide any sort of explanation to
anyone really, aside from the board, if they question it.
Yep, that's it.
The Lions are pushing it up again at up tempo. Goff gets the foul, and that just rolls off the rim.
Wanted to go in, decided last second just to rim out.
She's on the line for 2. Both sides are in the bonus now, and there's a timeout called. We're at 77-66 Sabres way. 1 minute 51 remaining in the contest. It is possible for the Lions to obviously come from behind victory, but it's going to be a bit of an uphill slog in my opinion.
You're going to see a lot more urgency in their defense in this last minute and a half, which is going to be crucial to whether they've got a shot in this game or not. The reason I say that is they're going to lose their players. They're going to lose their offensive players if they are trying to move around quickly, to cover off some gaps, to get some quick steals. You roll the dice and take the chance by picking off a pass, by grabbing a rebound and quickly moving into a transition offense. You roll the dice and take the risk by leaving your player to do that, and they're going to have to do that. But again, it's about court awareness, talking within their defensive unit, and making sure if they are leaving their player, they are pointing at the player that they're leaving, going, right, I've left this player, quick cover me now, I'm going to go over here and give this a crack.
And all this happens within a split couple of seconds.
It can, and that's all Sturt need for one pass and a quick shot of the basket as we just saw in the last offense.
Yep, absolutely. We saw the Lions a little bit of defensive prowess just before, I think just after the offensive foul. Quick steal, quick poke away, but the Lions were the Sabres were able to recover quickly, but in a little 2-on-1 advantage right there, obviously every possession will count. So that's exactly what they want, that little bit of extra pressure, a little bit of that little bit extra hustle on off the inbounds and everything like that to just annoy them a little bit as Goff hits the first.
You would almost, if this goes in, you would almost expect to see a full court press.
Absolutely.
They did that, I think, towards the end of the first quarter. You would want to see it, but they missed. Still a 10-point game. Quick turnover. They got to pressure the ball and try to force this turnover, get the ball back into Lions' hands.
The Sabres have actually kept both Boone and Goff incredibly quiet tonight. 10 points for Goff, 4 of 19 from the field, and Boone, 5 of 16 from the field, recording 15. But it's just appeared that Goff's been a lot more around on the court and around the court a lot more than her partner. But It is what it is. And Leah Swain, 17 points tonight, 6 of 11, over 50% from the floor. So fantastic to see there.
She's been massive.
Yeah.
As Lauren Gibbons misses the first of 2 to push us back out to 11-point lead.
Bouncing around, bounces in. Subs back in. We're just under a minute and 40 remaining left in the contest. Holding up the clock, very clever there. Bit of vet work there.
They need to use every second they've got. They need to make this a quick offense and a shot from long range. That's
what they need. That's what they did. Unlucky to fall that one. Nice open shot.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah.
That was definitely coming.
Sturt moving the ball around.
Using up every second on their shot clock.
Boone was hounding before the lines, hounding, stalking. Bit of a defensive lapse there.
That's been their game. That's been that consistent, that very, very well polished and well drilled ball movement to knock us out of 13 points, and that's pretty much the final nail in the coffin. Although we do get 2 more points back for the Lions to bring it back to 11 points with 54 seconds on the clock. I think this one is just about sewn up for the Sabres.
As there's a foul called. And the Sabres will be going to the line for 2 as they're in the bonus. As one of the officials speaks to the scorer's table while the girls line up. Like we mentioned earlier though, Chelsea Brooke and Leah Swain, the battle between the two bigs. Brooke with 22 points and 10 of 20, so 50% from the floor there. So she's really had her way inside and a little bit of outside as well. She's played a little bit of an outside game as well. She's now 2 from 3, but 25% there. As the Sabres nail their first free throw of the last minute. She goes for 2 for 2.
Kayla Matthews pushing us back out to a comfortable 13-point lead.
This one I feel will be more than all than over. But it's been a tight contest between both sides. It only blew out the last maybe few minutes of the contest.
Really entertaining game from both teams.
Yeah.
It's going to be an L in the column for the Central District Lions, but keep your head up, girls, because that was a fantastic showing exactly what your team can do. Pushing a very talented team like the Sturt Sabres sitting second on the ladder at the moment, and you pushed them for 4 quarters. They really, really did.
Absolutely. It's like I said, they have the head up pride. Head up high. There we go. It's a bit of a tongue twister for me, which isn't really a tongue twister. As under the last 10 seconds of the contest.
And they haven't stopped being aggressive.
Exactly.
And that's really positive. I think that's where this team is going. They stick to this particular game plan, and well, it's only upwards from here. It's been a fantastic game to see.
With Goff actually pushing, like you mentioned, like keeping that foot on the accelerator, Goff going to the line in the last 7 seconds of the contest tonight.
And it shows the other guards, the other young guards, that if you be aggressive, if you remain aggressive, then it opens up the game for you. Not only will it, with your ball handling skills as they get better, will open up the keyway for penetration to the basket, but it allows that penetrating pass, which as a guard, that's in your bag of tricks. It's got to be in your bag of tricks.
Yeah.
You can't just be an outside shooter with the ability to make a pass to someone around the arc. It's about that penetration, drawing the player, and a good pass to a cutter or to an outside shot. As the siren goes, game over here at Pasadena, with the Sturt Sabres running out winners 82-71.
Yep, the Sabres have won out by 11 points, much like their first one, I believe. But again, like you were mentioning, it's been a close contest for the entire game, and it's only gone both ways. It's gone both ways as the players shake hands.
11 points.
Yeah.
11 points doesn't show the contest as much as you think it might. If you see 11 points, maybe that might look like a comfortable 11 points, but definitely was not. If you were a Sturt Sabres player or fan, it was a very, very back and forth game with Sturt almost allowing Central to get right back in it in that third quarter. But they're a champion team. They'll be playing some. They'll be going deep in the playoffs. But look, hats off to Central for a really, really competitive game all the way through.
Absolutely, and we'll leave you at that. First of all, we'd like to thank you, AB, for joining in the absence of Benito Carboni. Second of all, thanks to everyone for tuning in. We'll see you a little bit later, and we'll leave you with the scoreline of 82-71. So that was wrapping up the women's round 17 of the Premier League, Basketball Says Premier League, powered by Space Break Sports. We'll see you in a little while for the men's game.